I recently finished reading an audiobook. It was a book that was translated from French to English. It was a book I remember at the time when it came out, there was a lot of commentary and hype around this book, and that book is My Husband by Ventura. This was published in like 2023. It's a psychological novel, and this is a story that follows a wife who's talking about her marriage to her husband. The wife in question, our main protagonist, a woman who is 40 years old, and she's pretty much achieved everything she's wanted in her life. She has a beautiful home, a successful career, she has two children, and she also has a husband who she is absolutely and obsessively in love with. The problem is she doesn't believe that her husband reciprocates the same kind of passion that she does, which results in her spiraling into chaos because she feels like the love is not being reciprocated correctly. That's all I really want to share about the plot, and I don't want to give too much away because I think there is a really nice element of surprise that comes with the story when you actually start reading it. The story is written in this very stream of consciousness type of style. It spans over the course of a week. It starts where the husband announced that he needs to talk to his wife and she believes that he is going to leave her. And it basically takes you back to the week prior and you get to basically see the wife's innermost thoughts throughout everything that happened through the course of that week leading up to that single conversation. You are privy to her secrets, to her hyperfixations, and you are also very aware of how obsessive she actually is about the love that she feels for her husband. I really enjoyed the style of writing that we were getting initially in the beginning, but I will say that once I got to the middle portion of the book, I did feel like I was tuning out a little bit. Some of the parts just felt a little bit repetitive, a little bit redundant, and I guess I was just clocking out in the middle of the story, especially because of the pacing. Now, I personally don't know if this is because I listened to this on audiobook instead of reading the physical book, and I do know that audiobooks can have a different experience than when you read a physical book, but that was just my own critique that I had about this work. However, when I got to the end and I got to the actual plot twist that we get, I thought that that was really good and that actually add another layer to the story in terms of like the psychological turmoil that you're pretty much going through from the beginning of the story all the way up until the end. I really enjoyed the plot twist. I thought it was like a great takeaway at the end of that story. Overall, I think this is a really fun book, and this kind of narrative of sort of the unraveled housewife or the unraveled wife reminded me of two books specifically that I have also read, which is The Days of Abandonment by Elena Ferrante and Hausfrau by Jill Alexander Esbaum, and I really think that if you enjoyed these two books, then you would also enjoy My Husband by Ventura.